Alright everyone, this is one of my most prized possessions as of now. This is my brand new in the box, Casablanca Centennial ceiling fan. Only 5,000 made. This is number 623 of 5,000. So before we turn it on, let's get a look here. There's the tag. There is no serial number on this fan. Tassel pull chain, anti-copper K4, in pristine condition, handcrafted glossy rosewood blades, and the shades still have their tags, because like I said, it is new in the box. There's the crate. Anti-copper sideband, and then the two faceplates are brass. That downrod is not original. That came from my polished copper Four Seasons, but that hang true is the polished copper hang true there. That is original from the box. I do have the original downrod. That's anti-copper. It's in the crate, but it's like 2 or 3 feet long, so I can't do that on the ceiling. It also came with light bulbs in the box, but I didn't want to damage them or risk damaging them. So I left them in and used some of my own. Plus those light bulbs are small and didn't give off a lot of light. Too little amount of lumens. And then if we come over here, you can see the Centennial. 623 of 5,000. Assembled by Burton A. Burton himself. Issued May 4th, 1981. So how did I have this set up before? I'm going to have to put the camera back down. Okay. Pull chain sequence is actually backwards. The slumber quiet does work. It's controlled with this little finial on the bottom. There's the light. It might stall out on the lowest speed because this blade hub is just so heavy. The slumber quiet's lowest speeds can't drive it enough, but sometimes it will work. .623 as well as 622. 622 is also new in box. They came as a set, and me and another collector went and got them. And according to the seller, he ran a showroom that opened in the 70s. I don't remember when it closed. He said, yes, it's going to stall out, so let's turn it up a little bit. And after the showroom closed, these sat in a crawl space for around 40 years. And just recently the seller unearthed these fans from the crawl space, and they sat in his garage, and he put them up for sale on Marketplace, and we went and got them. And I would name the other collector who has 622, but he wished not to be named. In due time it will be revealed who it is, but not by me. This is one of my all-time favorite fans. It is just so elegant and perfect. Very unique. And this is a replica of the original ceiling fan back in the 1880s. And the reason this was made was to commemorate the centennial or century anniversary of the ceiling fan's invention back in the 1880s. The idea of the Centennial was conceived in 1981. And they were sold primarily in 1982, a few of them in 1983, and the last of them in 1984. The first 100 Centennials were manufactured in Casablanca's original factory in Pasadena, California, but when they moved to Industry, California, the rest of them were made there. So I will be looking for one one of them in the hundreds, the first 100 made, so I know that they're made in Pasadena. This one, since it's in the 600s, it was made in industry. Now, obviously, this is like the last. This is the last limited run Casablanca fan made. There was the Columbia 500. I believe there were 2 sets of Columbia 500s, one with a K63 motor, which was later, and then one with a belt drive motor, which was earlier. There was the Commodore Vanderbilt 250, which was the original Broadway. That copied a Dayton fan, I believe. And I don't remember if the Columbia copied anything. The Victorian, there was a Victorian Limited, but it wasn't like a limited run of numbers. The Victorian copied the Emerson Fernleaf. And like I said, the Broadway copied the Dayton, so did the Commodore, the same thing, really. Turn this up a little bit. And then the Centennial copied the original ceiling fan. There was one other limited run thing, I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, the Broadway 500, but that's, the same thing. There was the Commodore 250 and then the Broadway 500. Yeah, I'm actively looking for those, but it's not going to be an easy task, especially with the Commodore Vanderbilts. Those are very, very, very rare. And then the Century 9000, that wasn't a limited run fan, but that did copy the Century Antique, hence the name. I'm trying to remember what other fans copied other fans. I mean, I don't know about this for sure, but I guess you could say the Zephyr copied the old GE fans. Turn this up a little bit more. Now, because the blade hub on the Centennial is so heavy, it does not go as fast as other K55 fans. This has a K55 motor in it. This was before Casablanca started using third-party motor manufacturers like Asterson and Samsung and things like that. In the mid-'80s, I mean, Astersons aren't bad. Samsungs are pretty bad, but Astersons aren't that bad. The only issue I have with Asterson are the bearings. This has a K55, and the shaft attached to the blade hub is attached directly to the rotor, and it causes a lot of drag, which is why the fan does not go that fast. Now I don't really run this anywhere else but high because I really want to preserve the slumber quiet as best as I can. If I ever find another Centennial, I'm probably not going to take this out of the crate ever again because it's just so rare. You don't ever see a Centennial crate. And if I ever find another one, that'll be the one that I choose to keep up and running. Because for those who don't know, slumber quiet is very fragile. And from what I've heard stories about, contact with static electricity, like if you rub your feet on the carpet and touch the boards would give out and fail immediately. That's how sensitive they are. The very high failure rate. So that's why I don't want to run this anywhere else but high, because given that this is from, 81 or 82, it has an old slumber quiet system. I used to have a 1982 catalog, but I traded it for something else. A big trade with a collector. That had the introduction to the Centennial. That was the first anyone knew about it, aside from the Expo. Actually, I don't think I told anyone that story, but when the Centennial was unveiled to the general public, I believe, it was at an expo, like an exposition or something like that. And they were kind of in a big rush to make the Centennial in time, like at least the display model they were going to show in that expo. And from what I heard, they grabbed a random transistor and heatsink and just shoved it in there. And when they turned on the power, the Slumber Quiet exploded. That's the only known case of Slumber Quiet having like an actual destructive fire. Now, when the Slumber Quiet fails, yes, the resistors will char and smoke, but they won't actually cause a fire. There are some collectors who are, what's a nice way to put it? Some collectors who are uninformed or just plain ignorant or incompetent, that they'll say that Slumber Quiets do cause a fire. They don't. It's not powerful enough to cause a destructive fire. The boards will smolder, but they will not cause a fire. That's just now out of the question. Pretty close to high. It's cranking out an unbelievable amount of air. I don't know if I want to take this down anytime soon, but for preservation purposes, I just might have to. Yeah, everything you see on the fan is from the crate except for the downrod. It is 100. I mean, I'm not going to open up the crate right now and get it out, but it has all the documentation. It has a certificate signed by Burton A. Burton himself, saying that this is an authentic Centennial. It has the mounting instructions. It has everything. It has the warranty information. Nothing is missing from this. Absolutely nothing. And there's full high speed. Yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with this. I'm so happy that I have this because there's another collector who hoards these. So I'm very happy that I got this in time before he did. Otherwise, I would have lost a very good chance of getting one of these. Because they're already hard to find. But yeah, this fan and my Hunter 22206 are like my most prized possessions. I absolutely love this fan, and the Hunter was the first original I ever got. Well, technically a 22206 is not an original, it's before the original came out, but there's the light. Absolutely gorgeous. Whenever I have a house of my own, this is definitely going over the dining room table. This camera screen around. Just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And the seller said he was waiting 40 years to see a video of this because he's had them in that crawl space for 40 years, ever since his showroom closed. Like I said, the pull chain sequence is backwards. But anyway, there you go. That is my Casablanca Centennial ceiling fan. Number 623 of 5,000. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and more fan videos to come.